Hey there everyone, this is just a quick look at the new Grad Card Pack just released. So this is another pack that has 5 Grad Card designs in it, so I thought we'd just take a brief overview of what's in here. How to use them, take a look at each one. These do include 4x6 and 5x7 layouts, and they include both of those in a horizontal and a vertical option. So we're just going to take a quick look here. Basically all your layer options are going to be the same in any of those layouts. So we'll just look at one layout for each. And there's a couple places in here where there might be a bit of a gotcha if you're not used to like smart objects or something like that. So I thought it'd be helpful just to walk through and take a look. Most of this is going to be absolutely straightforward. Things you've probably done a million times in Photoshop. So these are customizable, so we can change colors and add our own photos in and all that good stuff. So again, let's just jump into this. So this is one of the 5 designs in this pack. This one's called the Elegant design. So very akin to that classic like foil stamp type of look. So I thought this turned out really cool. So let's take a look. You're going to see in each one of those you're going to have side 1 and side 2. So just so you can do front and back cards here. And then these are going to be grouped, so we can expand these groups and look at the layers, but you can see on this one we have our background texture and then we have our color adjustment, which is a hue saturation adjustment layer. So if you wanted to change this color, you would just come up to your properties window here and you could move this hue to whatever shade you wanted. If you wanted more punch of color, you could bring the saturation up. If you wanted it to be a little bit brighter or darker, you can mess with that lightness value as well. So you can completely customize what color you want this to be. You could even desaturate it if you wanted just like a really classy black and desaturated black and gold type of look there. Okay, so there's those options. We'll just reset and go back. So let's open up side 1 here, and we'll look at what the front of this card would look like, or the back. I guess that's objective, but or subjective. But so starting at the top, we got this beveled line right here that's creating that beveled effect. Below that is, if we look, we got some clipped layers that go down to our first text group. Okay, so the text is split within a couple different groups because I wanted to apply a bit of a different bevel effect on the text. You can see like the side text looks like it's beveled up and it's more embossed. And you can see this text looks like it's kind of sunken down and more stamped. So that's why it's split up that way. But right off the bat, you're going to see clip to the text group is a color option. So if you wanted to do more of a silver foil, you could just turn that off by default. Or if you wanted to come in, again, hue saturation adjustment layer, you could push this to create any colors that you wanted. Again, you could darken that up, you can brighten it, and change all of those things there. So we'll reset that. And then this is the foil texture itself. So if you just wanted to do like a plain text, again, you could turn those off or on however you would like. So if we open up our text group, we'll see these are now just regular text layers. So here's like the class of 2024. So that could be updated for the year that you need, or you could change that to say whatever you wanted. And then again, the text down here can be updated again just by double clicking and typing in anything that you want here as normal text. In reference to the fonts, you'll see on the product page for the pack, all of the fonts that I've used in these samples, there's links to go grab those. So those are all there. So let's close that group up. We'll skip the image group just to take a look at the next text group, which is down below here. So you're going to see the same effect where you have the color and the texture clipped to the group. And if we open up the group, here's some more text. So right, left text lines can be each customized as you'd like. And the name, or again, whatever text you'd like. Those are just simple text layers again. And then we have our image group. So we got 4 blocks in here, and you're going to see there's 4 blocks set up, and it's going to tell you just to clip an image to this layer. So if you're unfamiliar or have never done this, let's just drag some images in. Let's say I wanted to grab, let me reach up here, and I'm just going to grab an image here and drop in. So once it drops in, again, you could go ahead and pre-size or whatever you wanted to do. Let's just apply. And let's say I wanted this one to be, in this top right corner. Well, we can see that's this block here based on the thumbnail. So I can clip that in there and just move it around so it just shows up on that block. We could resize, redistribute however we like. So it'd be that same process, you know, for each of these. If we wanted to put another image in, let's say something like this, will be the same thing. I would just apply this. What I'm doing is just holding Alt or Option and clicking between the layers here, and so that will clip it. You could also right click and you choose that out of the list here. So like if you right click, you can say create clipping mask, and then it will clip to the layer below it. So however you'd like to do that. So again, I could just transform this and place it, and it's just going to show up within that square there. And one of the interesting things I like about this one is, let's disable these, or let's delete these images. Kind of fun on this one too, if you wanted to do something a little bit different. Let's just say we bring this one in again, is make this the size of all 4 panels. And then actually could just clip that, and then I can Alt or Option drag this down to the next one and clip it. And you could do a single image out of all 4 panels by just duplicating these down and creating that type of look as well. So again, just a fun little thing to throw in there. So that's, you know, easily how you would adjust the front side of this card. And then the back side, we would just turn this one on, and again, you got some beveled line options in there. You've got the same kind of text thing, exactly the same as the other side, with your texture, with your color, and then another image group, where once again you would drag your image in, let this apply, clip it to the group, and then could position and size this, you know, however needed. Okay, so very simple, easy to use. So that's the first one, called Elegant in the Group. Let's go to the second one. So this one's called Modern. So this has a bit more of that simple, clean, modern type of look to it. Very much the same way. You're going to see that you have a side 1 and a side 2. We'll talk about the color fill in just a second, but let's look at side 1. So we drop this open. Again, here's some regular text that's easily editable. On this one, it has this block that has the transparent year on it. I did go ahead and preset this for a 2024, 25, and 26 block. So those are pre-done. You know, so that'll get through a few years, and that's, you know, something easy enough to update even after that if you're using it. I'm always happy to walk through how to make that simple change. So, but there's a preset in there for now. These are the borders for the images in the back to create that definition between them. And then we have our image group. So if we could expand this, there's our blocks, just the same as we've seen in the previous one. So once again, drag an image in. Let's go ahead and apply that. We will clip it to whatever block we want, and then we could transform and resize and all that good stuff to get whatever look we wanted out of this. Okay, so very easy to do. So let's turn this group off, look at the other side. So very simple again. This one, again, for that clean look, just has some simple text here. Again, you'd edit that as normal. It's got that same block, and again, preset for the 3 years, and that's just down in the corner here. And then our image group is just for a single image. So you can see, it doesn't, we want to clip this one, but we want to fill it the space first. Okay, so what I mean by that is if we drop a new image in here, let's drop this one in, we want to make sure this fills the entire canvas. Okay, something like that. And then you could leave it like this if you wanted, or if you clip this to the layer below it, it's going to pick up this fade that's on this mask. So it fades over to make that text a little more legible. And then this is where this color fill option comes in, which you could just click, and like if you wanted to sample like colors from the image to make that match a little bit more, we could change that tonality basically in the background so it feels a little more cohesive with the image that you put in. See, so I think that looks better, picking up some of those green tones and things. So that's what that color fill option is. And again, if you didn't want that fade, you would just not clip the image there and give that whole single background. So again, very simple to use, very clean, modern design for that card. All right, the next one is called Slant. So that's got some slanted panels in here, another very kind of modern, clean option here. So aside 1 and aside 2, again, we'll expand here. So simple text here and here. This just has that block that highlights the name. And then our image group. So 3 images in. And once again, you would just drop an image in here. Apply it to whichever panel you want. Resize to fit. Like that. So it'd be the same way. We would go to the next one. Let's say we wanted to put this one in. Let's just go ahead and pre-size that to fit. We can clip this and scoot it over. And then let's find a third one. So let's take this one. Oops, wrong one. And let's resize this one a little bit. And we can move it over. And again, you can clip it if you want it to fit specifically. So again, very easy to drop those in and customize the card. So let's look at the second side. And again, this one has simple text. Text again. That same block there to highlight that. And then the image group here has 2 images for it. So again, one is going to clip to this. Oops, wrong button. One's going to clip to this slanted box here, and we could position that up. And then the other one's just set up as a background fill. And the way this one's set, you'll see there's a couple layers above it. So let's just drop one in, and we'll look. We'll drop in a color image, because this one's actually set by default to desaturate and decontrast that background image. And that's what these layers are doing. So we got this one that's creating some offset on the contrast, and this one that's doing that black and white conversion, just to give it, again, a little bit of a more interesting, clean, modern feel. Alright, so that's the third one. The fourth one in here is called stone. So we have this stone texture in the background. The same as the first one we looked at. We got some color changing options here with hue saturation adjustment on the background. So again, we could change that color. So if we want it to be more blue, a little more saturated, a little darker, brighter, we can change all of that in here. So let's look at side 1. Again, got a text block here, got a text block here, text block, and again, all these can be customized. The customizable name is here, and then we have our images down here. So we have 2 horizontals and a vertical, exactly the same way. You know, we would pick one of these, drop the image in. Let's apply that. We'd go ahead and clip this to the group, and then we can resize this to fit however we like. Okay, so again, very easy to use. Let's look at side 2. Now side 2 is one that might be something a little new if you haven't seen it. So simple layers to clip your images onto. Okay, so those image blocks. But now this one has this repeating background text. Okay, so that's the one that might be a little bit new concept to some folks. And you're going to see when we expand this, we have a couple of things in here. We have this one, you'll see it says edit text in this smart object. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we have a group that says additional text lines. If you look at that, it'll tell you do not need to edit those. Okay, these are the repeating text, but we only need to edit this one to update everything. So if I double click on this thumbnail on the layer, so you can see this little symbol telling us it's a smart object. If I double click, it's going to open up a new document window. And this new document window has this text going diagonally across here too. So this text is what we want to update. Let's make this black just so we can see it. Alright, so what I like to do in here is just double click to edit my text. And then what I'm going to do is just start typing the new text. So let's say I wanted to put my own name in there. And we'll put the year. Say it's my graduation year. And then I'm going to put a space. And then what I'm going to do is hit Command or Control A to select everything. And then Command or Control C to copy this. And then hit my End key to go to the end of the line. And then Command or Control V to paste, 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 paste. And once we've made sure that we overlap from corner to corner, we can click Apply. And then when we close this window, it's going to ask if we want to save changes. And I'm going to say yes. And what that's going to do, you can see it's updated all of the text in all of the lines. So depending on the color background, we could come in and play with this stroke color. Let's say instead of darker, we wanted to go brighter. Here's another way that you can simply do this. So you can see it's updating this first line and giving us that brighter outline. Now if we wanted to update the rest of this, here's the easiest way to do that, is to now right click on this layer and we're going to say copy the layer style. Now if we open up the additional text lines, I'm going to pick the first one, I'm going to scroll down to the last one, I'm going to hold shift and click on it so it selects all of them, right click and paste layer style, and that's going to paste that stroke line to everything. So again, that's the one thing that might be new to some people, but if you're looking for a simple way to update all of that, you just update the text in the one smart object, and then if you want to change the stroke line or any of those layer styles, just copy that from the first one, paste it all to the rest. Okay, so it can be done pretty quickly and customized pretty easily. Alright, so let's take a look at the last one called Torn. Also, I will point out, you'll notice each one of these have guidelines set up. You want to keep anything, this is kind of like a preset guide for your printing labs to ensure that no important information gets cut off. So just be sure anything that's, you absolutely need to be on this card, like your text elements and things like that, are within these borders, because this is giving the safe line for your printers to do their trims on the final size. Okay, so just make sure anything that you need to keep on there is within these guidelines. Alright, so the last one in the pack here called Torn. Again, side 1 and side 2. Let's look at side 1. So there's our text. We've got some text here that also has this paper texture applied to it, so that could be turned on or off. We have some different random dotted lines just to create some interest in there. If we expand those, you can see they have color blocks attached to each one. So that's simple as double clicking here and picking the new color or typing a new color in. And you can see that will influence the color of those. So we got some of those. And then below here is our background, which is creating that kind of torn hole in the paper here. That's got some more paper texture applied to it. It's got some color adjustments, again by way of hue saturation. So we could influence the color of all of that. If we wanted to change, the look of all of that, we certainly could. And then below that is our image group. For this image group, it's just a single background layer. Basically, you just want to fill this opening. Okay, so if we drop an image in, it's automatically going to put it behind there. You really just need it big enough to fill anywhere where this tear out is. So we can see there's a little bit of a gap up here. So I really just need to get it, to there to cover that, and we're good. You could certainly make it the size of the whole background, but there's some drop shadow and effects going on to make it feel like it's layered in below that tear out. Okay, so again, very easy to use. Let's turn on side 2. So again, some text here. It's a text block here. Here's our image group with just the same thing we've seen before, clipping the images on here. Some more of those dotted lines that, once again, easily customize those colors. And then our background with our color adjustment via hue saturation. So there we go. Quick look at all 5 design options in this pack. Hope you get a lot of use out of them, and see you next time.